Higher education and business are stacking the deck in New Jersey thanks to a new state initiative launched in Trenton, designed to address college affordability and meet the needs of the local job market. We're going to go to some highlights from that press conference, where Senate President Sweeney and RCGC President Frederick Keating, among others, spoke passionately about this new state initiative modeled after RCGC's own Work and Learn Consortium.
The Senate President charged us with the vision he had was to get the county entities in Gloucester together to go into a study with regard to the idea of delivering a comprehensive consortium to serve labor and industry, with regard to the educational piece as well as the labor and industry component. We took that seriously in Gloucester County, and with my partner, Dr. Ali Hushman at Rowan University, and Michael Dicken, the superintendent of the Gloucester County Institute of Technology, the vocational school, we did get the three educational entities into a room. And at that time, we invited the Gloucester County Chamber of Commerce, who I think are here today with Les Vail. We also had the Gloucester County Government Economic Development, Workforce Development Boards, with the idea of the American Job Centers coming onto the community college campuses. We also reached out to Commissioner Fichtner and Secretary Hendricks, who is here, and who I thank very much for her support and understanding as we debated this at the state level with labor and with the higher education. So we did what we were instructed by the Senate President to do, is we drew up a consortium. It's briefly outlined on a document that many of you have, I hope all of you have, or we can make available immediately. The concept is that simple. We took three educational entities and we tied them together in heart and soul in a memorandum of understanding. To do what? Was to provide certificates and high school diplomas to students at the vocational school level. We think this game begins around the sophomore, junior year of high school. And you are then given the counseling and the guidance and the understanding there to enter into the workforce. But the trick was, what would be the components of the workforce and industry-driven programs? And that's when we turned to the New Jersey Department of Labor and to the Secretary. We didn't want to reinvent the wheel. We in education took the model that was given to us by labor. These are the demand areas of work consideration, labor industry-driven credentials in New Jersey. So we didn't have to go out and reinvent the wheel. The wheel was given to us. I believe the difference is that education is the recipient of the work from labor and industry, not the other way around. We in education design the models, the degrees, and the program, and feed it to individuals, students, and labor. This has to, in our opinion, go the other way. So by doing that, we literally took the labor standards of New Jersey, went to the southern region of the state, went to the county of Gloucester, and we pulled out 7 target areas of instruction, which are noted on this sheet. And yes, one of them is manufacturing, which I believe is also being debated in the state. But we also took up, the idea of financial, services, transportation and logistics, healthcare, biopharmaceutical, life science, hospitality, retail, and construction management. They became, from labor data, our driving forces. So we, education, took them, aligned them, put them in at a 17 and 18-year-old individual, got a certificate consideration. It must have certificate and degree. Labor-driven, valued credential. What we were told, labor. Valued by industry and labor. NJBIA has done a lot of research on this. We've talked with them. The chambers are right there. The trick was getting everybody to talk and be in the room. And personally, I've been in education as a superintendent of a VOTEC and the president of a county college and a partner of a research university, part of president councils at all levels, and I don't believe it happens. I believe we all do good work, but we do it in complete isolation, fragmented by geography and demand. This could be pulled together into one cohesive model. So the high school has its part, and then the community college is the lever that sits in the middle of the fulcrum to kind of let this thing tip either way. If these credentials then go into another certificate at the county college level in the first year. So it's stackable, which is the term that's used throughout. Stackable, industry-valued credentials. So we followed it. We also firmly believe, and we embedded in this model, what's known as a PLA, or a prior learning assessment. We want individuals that are working, that have experience, to get credit for that. Thomas Edison does it extremely well. But again, we wanted to put it in as a component of this model. So you come into a county college with a high school diploma in a trade area that leans toward this domain of study. You then get a design from industry and business as to what the comprehensive aspect of that study is. So what we ask of business in this relationship from day one is business and industry must, one, tell us what it is you want. Number two, tell us and advise us on the academic design of that program. You have to give us the understanding of the framework of curriculum. The educators will fall in and design delivery, but you have to design the model. So you give us what you want your employees to have and understand, and we will put together the curriculum in a joint venture of advisory. We ask business and industry to be a partner with money as well. Yes, they should put that money into the game. We minimally ask for the consideration of that an internship runs right through the heart of this entire program. From the time you're in high school, through community college, should you choose it, and on to the senior university or college. You will have an internship opportunity. Unless you're working in that industry and you don't need it, you waive it. If you don't, we help provide it. Industry must give it to us, number one, quantitatively and qualitatively, and they must do it with a paid relationship. Because to the Senate President's vision, along with Senator Cunningham and Secretary Hendricks, we talked about college affordability on another day here. Well, here's where they come together and they meet. Because the college affordability is the paid internship. You take that money and you put it towards your tuition. So, business and industry on advising and design of curriculum and study, and tell us the fields in which you want us to go to research the model. Secondly, participate. And third, we expect there is an expectation of staff development on both sides. College faculty needs to be integrated with people that work in the field. Not just tell us advisory, but you must participate with us. So we would have joint staff development, joint development of program for your employees and for our students, and our students should become part of your employees. So that this is a marriage of educational opportunity while you're going through this consortium of training. So at the county college, there's certificates available in the first year. The second year is the associate's degree. The transfer then goes to the 4-year senior partner. In our case, with Rowan University, tremendous partner, tremendously cooperative. They're bringing third and fourth year to the county college campus. So we'll have it on our Workforce Development Center. So the idea then is the third year comes in as what is Rowan calls is a CUGS, or a Certificate of Undergraduate Study. In my mind, to put it out in layman's terms, it's the junior year. Another certificate, specific to the industry, valued credential by the industry. And then the fourth and final is the baccalaureate. Should you need it, should your employer want it, should your field dictate it, you can get to the bachelor's degree as the fourth and final step of this consortium. So we've taken you traditionally from 18 to graduation with a baccalaureate. If you're working and you want to come in, we have what we have, sideway entry. You can come in through a PLA or advanced credit, study on your own. We bring you in, we do the guidance and the pathway design of your major inside this domain. We plug you in somewhere on that ladder and you begin the process. So we've kind of mapped it to be pathway driven, prior learning assessment, internship required, and the idea of the affordability sits there because of the internship. And industry may want to get more aggressive. In our county, with the chamber, we gave chamber employees the opportunity to come back and go to school at a reduced rate, even above the relationship we already had with the high school option reduction. So there's all different ways you can tweak the financial path that follows the academic path.
President Keating really said it all. So let me simply say this. Congratulations, highest accommodations. This is so important to our state. It's going to take this kind of brilliant collaboration, this kind of innovation, this kind of coalition of the willing to step forward and do what's absolutely necessary to ensure that our workforce is ready and that our economy is competitive. I commend you for the extraordinary collaboration that you've put together. It is visionary, it's innovative, it's cutting edge, it's timely, it's essential. And as Dr. Keating said, I'm all about access, I'm all about affordability. But if there's no degree attainment at the end, it won't matter. So they put all three together. Now, here's one last thing that I want to say about that extraordinary work. They've made sure that there were on and off ramps. I'm all about equity. And if the only ramp is always an off ramp when things change in your life, and there's no way to get back on, we defeat the purpose from the start. So they've built into this on and off ramps to meet you wherever you are in your life. This is a win-win for the state of New Jersey. I simply say, how quickly can we replicate it?
I want to congratulate the Senate President and our friend Fred Keating in Gloucester County for kind of taking an idea that everybody agrees is the overall vision for technical education in New Jersey and creating a plan to make it a reality for the county. What this does is it focuses on industry-recognized credentials as well as college credits and a degree, and sort of changing that idea that the only pathway to success is a four-year degree. There are multiple pathways, multiple ways to get that, and it recognizes and honors students who get training beyond high school, earn those credentials, whether they're at the vocational school or they go on to the community college, but it recognized that those are excellent outcomes as well as a four-year degree. The other game changer here is the commitment to engaging employers. We all strive to do that. All career and technical education programs have employers engaged. They advise, they give students work-based learning experience, but this coordinates it in a way that hasn't been done before. And I think it just has tremendous promise for us. I think it's going to guide us and lead the way for the next 10, 15 years in New Jersey.
Across the state, our colleges have established a very strong relationship with all the CTE schools for dual credit enrollment. Rowan College at Gloucester County's program announced today takes this partnership to a much higher level by engaging employers in all 4 years throughout the continuum of education. The model is destined to become a way of the future. You know, there are more than 200,000 unemployed workers in New Jersey, and there are more than 100,000 jobs that are posted by New Jersey's employers. We are very mindful of these statistics and are offering training for the unemployed population to become gainfully employed again. Community colleges in New Jersey are uniquely positioned to fulfill the educational and workforce development needs of the state, the employers, and we stand behind the Senate President's vision and the Manufacturing Caucus's efforts.
I'm with the New Jersey Business and Industry Association, and we have been working in the workforce development world now for over 6 years. Why? Because what employers tell us that this is an economic development issue to them. They are not able to compete if they don't have the right skilled workforce. And so what does an employer who needs that skilled workforce do when they say that who's coming out of college is not answering the call, or who's coming out of high school is not ready? Why do we have such high remediation rates in our community colleges and in our four-year institutions? So we went to work and we said we really need to work together with our career and technical high schools, with our community colleges, with our four-year institutions to try to address this. And so when I saw that this first bundled consortium was put together, this is exactly what we need, because it's one-stop shopping for employers.
One of the top two issues facing the state of New Jersey's business community is qualified workforce. This will allow a qualified workforce to be in place to help the companies that are here expand and grow in the state, and that's a huge step forward.
Finding skilled and qualified employees and retaining them is an expensive and important proposition for businesses. Having the right people with the right skills in the right positions really is the goal of the business community. And training and educating workers to fill positions in high demand in the labor sectors will ensure that the businesses in these sectors will have a deep bench of talent from which to choose.
I think you get the gist of this. This is people basically taking down walls, willing to collaborate and coordinate efforts to actually make this state better. And we intend to make sure this is a statewide initiative, and I'm going to do it legislatively. This should exist in every single county in the state. You heard the business community and how happy they are with it. You heard the Secretary of Higher Education talk about this is needed to be done, but you need leaders that are willing to put down, really to take the walls down, because in higher education and in education, this is mine, stay away. You deal with that on a regular basis. Here we had leaders in Gloucester County that were willing to work together. President Keating, our vocational school superintendent, Mike Dickens, and President Hushman, who's always constantly looking at things differently and willing to do things differently. We are very fortunate. I'm thrilled to have the business community here because we're addressing their need. We're going to make sure that they have the trained workforce that they need.